Founded in March 1992, the South African National Civics Organization is an umbrella political organization mandated to coordinate the pursuit of democratic liberation. And joining us to discuss the role of civic or civil society organizations in the country is Sanco's Chairperson Abram Mashishi. Good morning to you and thank you so much for joining us in studio. Just by definition, you can give us the context. What are civic organizations and maybe examples that can follow as well?
No, thank you very much. Just correction, I'm not the regional chairperson. I'm the provincial chair of Gauteng.
All right, you need to update your website.
Just, yeah.
For starters, let's go there, because this is where I got your title.
Okay.
But nonetheless, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me start by thanking this invite to explain and make sure that we, as the public, people understand the role of Sanco as a civic organization. As we've already outlined, that Sanco was formed in 1992. Is correct. Its mandate is very simple. Bread and butter issues, service delivery in the main. It deals with issues that are affecting the poor, the plight of the poor community, like your rental, your bus fares, your high electricity billing system, and so forth and so forth. However, Sanco, we are a political organization with political interest. Remember, we are the ally of the ruling party, that is the ANC. But that doesn't mean that we are friends with the ANC. The simple basis, we are a watchdog. We are the one that if one of our alliance partners are making wrong things, we are the one that we stood up and saying, no, 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 this is corruption, you must be accountable. Therefore, that is our role and responsibility as Sanco.
All right, but there isn't a national umbrella body of civic organizations, albeit by nature they are allies or, of political parties. That's one thing. But your role and tangible impacts that you may have had or initiatives, besides just raising the alarm and highlighting the dysfunctionality in part of the ANC, what are the initiatives that you've had as Sanco that are tangible and that have improved the lives of the poorest of the poor and South Africans in general?
Remember, as I've already outlined, that when you look into our constitution of Sanco, it states very clear to say civic organization, in particular Sanco, we must not supply labor. We must also own means of production. What does that mean? We must simply encourage our own community to improve their life, because Sanco is more on development, so that our poor people, young and women, and all community members, we encourage them to register cooperatives, as we have what you call portfolio committees within our organization. Your health, your safety, your economic business, you name them. So those are the things that we encourage government to make sure that they work closely with our people in terms of this co-op. For example, we've got women that they are in farming. Government must be able to come in full force and funding the model for farmers, emerging farmers in particular, so that they are able to produce product that they are going to feed the nation.
Let's measure the success then thereof in ballpark figures, rands and cents, and maybe the number of cooperatives that are now able to produce their own foods or that have the means of production. Give us some insight in there.
Unfortunately, because of currently where I'm from the regional structure. I'm now at the provincial level. As times go on, one may will find himself at the national level. Some of decisions, they need to be influenced by our national body, where they sit with this government deployee, MECs and ministers, so that they are able to give them line of march and saying, let's create cohesion between ourselves as Sanco. But for many years, Sanco have lost it because of some squabbles and infight amongst ourselves. But as we speak now, I think Sanco is now on its right place. We will make sure that we influence, because to be a leader of Sanco, it needs some business idea and mind that we've got the technical know-how and how to handle business matters.
Yes, and while you're saying that your mandate is noble in ensuring that government understands the need and plights of the people, especially those who were previously disadvantaged and are still disadvantaged, but you are too bogged down with red tape and the politics of politics that nothing is done, because now you have to go through the hierarchy, speak to the MEC, who will speak to the regional Gauteng chair, and then, go down that value chain. Is that the reason why we're seeing lack of service delivery and just urgency in getting things done?
Definitely. I think currently I must happily announce today that for the past 2 days we have what you call a summit with the African National Congress, where we were dealing with the issue of why our voters are declining. What are the issues? What are the challenges that face our community? As Sanco, it's a simple analysis that people don't get services. So for now, because of the new premier that is in place, Comrade Panyaza Lesufi, I hope and believe it's a very decisive premier that cannot shy to take any decision. I hope and believe as our new body in the province, we will make a landmark. We will be a project that people can copy from them. As Gauteng, we're going to champion that so that we make sure that our premier, because of it's a man that of action, with his cabinet, we will make sure that we met the cabinet with different sphere of department, with their HODs, and make sure that we influence our decision and we channel it to the right people, where each and every, remember we said Gauteng is an economic hub of the country. So it cannot be correct that people of Gauteng, they go to bed starving with no food. That must come to an end. We must call it a history in our new term of office as Sanco currently.
Yeah, but the relevance of civic organizations, in particular Sanco, in light of young people or voter apathy in general, who are maybe not interested in the hangover of apartheid and the struggle, credentials of leaders in place. All young people want, because we also benchmark against global best practices and standards. Social media has opened up the world. We can no longer say because Mashishi has served the ANC for so many years, therefore he should be appointed. What do you say to young people who are just frustrated with the lackluster approach of service delivery and action?
Yeah, we are encouraging young people in particular, as I've already mentioned, to say young people must align themselves with business, farming as a critical example, whereby we see most of our young people, they don't care about farming. Farming is a very critical component where our young people need to play a vital role there. So apart from that, as we are saying, let our young people give us a chance so that we can engage with this politician and make sure that we deliver to young people and women and people with disability and all SMME around Gauteng, so that we are able to sit with the premier down and check their budget in terms of their different sphere of department to say, in social development, this is the allocation of money that must go to the poor, like the bill that have been approved by the Gauteng government recently, the township bill that favors small business, particularly in the rural area. So all these good policies, as you understand that the ANC have got good policies, but the challenge is the implementation. We don't need to go back and create policies. We must simply go to our archives and implement those policies as per the ANC resolution that were adopted in the different conferences of the ANC.
We really appreciate your time coming into studio, Mashishi. Much appreciated indeed. We're speaking to Sanco Chairperson Abram Mashishi, as he corrected me. This is Gauteng, correct?
Gauteng.
Gauteng Chairperson for Sanco, the South African National Civic Organization, on their mandate to improve the quality of lives of South Africans, particularly those that are still disenfranchised. But do stay with us.